Let me cut it. Let me cut it. What's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of Visions of Love in Relationships. We hope you're doing well as usual.
As usual.
We up late night. It's 11:15. No, it's actually 10:15. So we call that late night.
Yeah.
That's a late night for us, especially to be up doing a live. But we said, let's go live. People keep fighting. We need to discuss this thing. Why does conflict happen
Yeah.
in relationships? If that's the question that you've been wanting to know, if you're on, you're about to get that answer. Okay, so why does conflict happen in relationships?
Number one, we stop trying to make it work. We get too settled in a relationship.
Yeah, yeah,
And expectations begin to be different.
yeah, absolutely. It's different. We're different people coming into a relationship. I think that's one of the first things people gotta understand when coming into a relationship, that we're different. We came up from a different upbringing.
Yeah.
Our perspectives are different on different things. So naturally, we're gonna disagree. We're gonna have different expectations.
Yeah.
So learning to actually communicate that.
Yeah. From the jump.
Yeah.
After when we first get together, everything's all lovely dovely.
Mm,
Then after a couple of weeks, like I said, we get settled in. Then our expectations are now we got expectations coming to play. Like we no longer it's like lovely dovely. It's like it's another level now. I get expectations of you.
right.
And when we don't express those expectations, then resentment starts getting to play. And instead of us moving closer together, now we start to move farther apart because we got expectations, and sometimes we'd be afraid to say our expectations what we got for a partner, and vice versa.
Yeah. It's definitely a good rule of thumb to talk about some things. Like we always say, we always mention talking about things before really getting into a good committed relationship, because you want to make sure that you guys are on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, one thing that we do want you to know about conflicts in relationships is that it's natural.
Yeah. Everybody have conflict.
Yeah, it's definitely it's natural. So it's gonna happen. If conflict is not happening in your relationship, then something's wrong. Okay, that's not healthy.
It's either nine times out of 10 it's toxic, or y'all just don't like each other.
Yeah.
Don't care what each other say or do.
Yeah.
There's no conflict in the relationship.
Right.
Conflict is sort of a sign, if it's healthy conflict, that somebody cares.
Yeah, and these things that we're discussing is healthy conflicts in a relationship. These things like normally happen. Yeah. Like differences in expectations. That's natural. That's natural to happen, because again, we different people. We're gonna bring different perspectives, different backgrounds. We came up different, just got different views on things.
Yep. And past relationships will make us have different expectations as we get to know the person that we want more from.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, like we were saying, learning to communicate
it's gonna be the key.
Will be the key, but there's different communication styles.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there will be another hindering block.
Right.
For a conflict.
Yep. That's another healthy conflict in a relationship, is the communication styles, because everybody have a unique way, again, because we different.
Yeah.
Of communicating with each other. Okay, so the way somebody might show affection just might be different again than what the other person is used to.
Yeah.
And then that causes a clash.
Yeah. One person might be loud, the other person's sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people can't talk if you're talking the language that they don't hear. Like they if somebody grew up where they knew when you got loud and rage was a thing, and it was like violent in their house, then when you communicate with somebody and you're loud, they may feel shut down.
Right.
So they don't receive things when you communicate in that style. So we got to really recognize our partner, how they receive and respond to things. Recognize that early, so we can stop stop that form of communication, which is our communication styles.
Right. And realize too that just talking is not just the only form of communication. Like I said, what I say? It left me. But anyway.
So just talking.
Yeah, not just talking, but what's the word I'm looking for? Expressing, no, not expressing yourself, but okay, I forgot. But I just want you to know that you can touch, being affectionate. That might be what I said. Being affectionate is a way of communicating.
Yeah.
Okay, that's communicating. I love you, but some people might not like to be
touched,
rubbed. I mean, that might bring up some old trauma or something, more smacked on the butt. You walking by, you smacking them on the butt. They're like,
I got butt whoopings.
Right. I don't like to be smacked on the butt. Okay. So yeah, that communication styles is a healthy conflict in a relationship. Another one is money and finance priorities. Yeah. So couples, again, we need to communicate. We need to set some boundaries.
Yes.
We need to know what we're doing with this money. Are we saving? Are we
got to be on the same page?
Yeah.
The one direction. Yeah. Are we saving? Or are we spending? What are we doing with our money? Because when money come into play and we don't know where our money's going, then conflicts will come into play. Mm-hmm. So it's good to be on the same page about money, whether you're married or single in a serious relation, and y'all in a house doing household chores together.
Yeah.
Or finances together.
Yeah. It's not nothing like me coming home with a big old bag and oh my goodness, I forgot. I didn't communicate it with you, but we had a bill. We got a late bill and I done spent the money. So yeah, money and finances, make sure that you're making it a top priority to talk about that. But again, that's a healthy conflict that comes up in a relationship. Yeah. Just knowing how to handle it is what's gonna keep you guys going. Okay. So another one is division.
Yeah, division and responsibilities.
Division and responsibilities. Oh man. Clean up that bathroom. Clean up that bathroom. You know how we normally expect the man, if we don't have kids, we want our husband to clean that toilet. But sometimes, yeah. I want my husband to clean that toilet.
Thank God we got 2 bathrooms.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep mine clean and I do clean my toilet. But see, that's division. That's us dividing the chores.
Yeah.
So just one person having to do everything, it ain't cool.
Yeah.
So make sure that you have that sit down. Again, we always gonna go back to communication because it's so important. Make sure that you have that sit down in the beginning. Hey, we're gonna share this. I'm gonna do the dishes these days. You can do it these days. And then naturally, it'll naturally start falling in place. Like now, we don't even have to tell each other, what we want to do. Like, I don't have to assign anything to Lamont. He don't have to assign anything to me. It just naturally happens.
Yeah, but see, we got a balanced relationship where household chores and responsibilities like a neutral fact with us.
Yeah, now. Yeah. But it took some time.
But before that, we had the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, true that.
If you got kids, you ain't got to clean up. But nowadays, we just kind of naturally rotate.
Yeah.
I mean, when I see you not doing it, I step in and do it.
Yeah.
Wash dishes or put the dishes in the dishwasher or whatever we need to. Even you might start washing clothes and not finish washing clothes.
Yeah.
We share responsibility.
I love when you do that.
I don't like to do
like,
it.
Lord.
Because I seem like you kind of set me up.
I do be setting you up sometimes. Because I know.
But see, I know that. So that's why I don't be doing it all the time. I got to make you finish washing clothes.
I do be setting them up. I be like, I know he going to go downstairs. I know he going to go drown. He got me. And when he do it, I be like, yes.
But when responsibilities are shared in the house, you don't feel overburdened.
Yeah.
That one person's doing all the work. And I know a lot of days, a lot of people, you might have somebody working and coming home. That don't mean you're not supposed to do work when you come home.
Yeah.
And the Bible says your man's supposed to work in the evening from sun up to sundown, but in the evening, do not let his hands be idle. So these men, you can't be somebody who get off work and just think, well, my day is done. What next? You got to work on something else. That could be on yourself or that could be on another business. But whatever you do after you work on your job, that's going to make you a living, you got to learn how to make yourself a fortune.
Yeah.
Which is going to be working on yourself.
Yeah, I also think that goes for women too. Women hands shouldn't be idle too if we're home or whatnot. But that's another story. I'm no storyteller. We're gonna move on to personal space and independence.
Yeah.
Having personal, that's a real big one. You don't want to feel claustrophobic in your own relationship.
Yeah.
You want to be able to go have your own personal time without having to come home and argue, for being out. Just make sure again that you're communicating and you setting those boundaries in the beginning. If you haven't, make sure that you telling your significant other that, I'll be home at 10 or something, and actually stick by that. And if not, shoot them a text or call them or something. I would call and be like, I ain't gonna make it. We just having a grand time, I ain't gonna make it, but yeah, personal space and independence. You gotta be able to feel independent as well. Like if you have dreams and aspirations, you gotta be able to go after your own dreams and aspirations. So
independence,
but
I think that one of the biggest things that rears in independence is we got two people with two different personalities. That companionship is two different people. See, a lot of men, their companionship is their homeboys. So now his personal space, he gonna spend more personal time with his homeboys. If you're a man, his companionship with his homeboys, he's not gonna be home like that. So if you want a man that wants to be that you want to be with, and you want him to be home, a homebody, you want him to be with you more, you got to find a man that don't have all them friends with him.
Yeah, that's real important because that's exactly why this particular conflict rears its head, because one person craves closeness and being with you, while the other one is more outgoing. So
they want to be out with their friends and out and about. And when those two personality styles or the need comes into place, and conflict comes into place when they're not met. So it's essential that we kind of communicate with our partner that we want more time with them without making them feel obligated to spend time with us.
So it's definitely important to respect each other's boundaries. So set them in the beginning, and as it goes, as time goes, you sometimes you do have to adjust. You got to come back together and reevaluate your boundaries, but by all means, respect each other's boundaries when it comes to when it comes to everything. But being independent and having personal time is important in a relationship. Nobody wants to feel smothered.
And you need time apart, because time apart actually keeps you together. Time apart from the relationship actually brings you together, which is crazy. But it's the truth. Absence make the heart go fonder.
All right. So next up, we got intimacy and affection needs. So that's another healthy conflict.
Healthy.
It's healthy because it's something that happens.
It's a natural part that sex drives or affection grows and lessons during the course of the relationship.
Differences in levels of intimacy. Like one person might just be, not have all that energy to be so intimate, and another person just might be a humping dog.
And many times that affection and intimacy falls back into the one we talked about before, which is household responsibilities. If we're not sharing these responsibilities around the house in an evenly manner, then one person might feel overburdened, and they won't be ready. They won't be as much energy to perform sexually with you or have affection like that when I ain't got the energy to. I'm doing all the chores. I'm doing all the work.
But again, intimacy and affection needs are very natural in relationships. Okay, and it's a workaround. You can work around it with open communication. Okay.
Sometimes you gotta tell your partner I ain't getting none like that. But she might, or your girl or woman or whatever. But your partner's also gonna tell you what they not getting.
Right.
So be ready to give. You gotta give and receive too.
Be prepared for that.
It's gonna come both ways. When you tell your partner, more likely it's gonna be a tit for tat. Well, I ain't getting this. You talking about you want that.
Right. All right. So be ready for that. All right. So the next one is conflict in personal goals or values. There can definitely be conflict in personal goals or values. So again, Let's run it back up to boundaries. Make sure that you're talking to your partner. Boundaries and communication. Talking to your partner about your goals and your values, and your partner doesn't need to belittle your values and your goals.
Yeah.
Okay, your partner need to be on your side. You need to be on your partner's side, because that's gonna naturally cause conflict for somebody not to want the other to do what they need to do,
or respecting what they
respect
value.
what they value. Like if one person like to go to church,
yeah,
and the other person don't,
that's
you're gonna have to compromise.
Yeah.
If y'all, especially if you know that ain't something that's why it's important to discuss things in the beginning, because you can then decide before you go too far whether or not this is somebody you actually really want to be with. Like, oh, he don't love God. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying?
Because everything looks good when you're in the little fracturation stage. Everything looks good up front, but then in the end, once all that smoke clears and all that love starts fading, then you start really looking at this person, and you like, well, this is you ain't communicate what you expect, and now it's not what you expect, and you ready to get up out of there instead of talking and learning how to communicate properly what you need to that person.
Yeah. And it's important to note that as time goes, people change.
Yeah.
So with different seasons and different, ages, stages of your life, your values, your goals, they change.
Yeah, and it's crazy. We're going on 20 years, and it's like this past 3 years is like a whole different phase in our marriage.
Yeah. So that's something that we going through, like the evolve, the evolve. I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah.
He mustard, I'm catching up. All right. So the next one is stress and external pressures. Stress and external pressures is gonna be normal, of course. Yeah. A normal conflict that's gonna happen in the relationship because everybody get a little stressed sometimes.
And everybody process stuff different. Some people don't take much to get them stressed out and externally overwhelmed and stuff, but some people it take a lot to get them, so they might feel less. But we got to know that, understand how our partner's feeling, so we can help them when the stressful times will not be a burden on them when stressed, because that's going to cause a conflict. Your partner already stressed, and we add no more stress by not being able to properly communicate. No, we're doing too much talking.
Yeah.
And the time of stressing, that person will say, "Well, I need quiet."
Yeah.
I just want to process my thoughts so I can thought instead of you talking and stressing me out more.
Yeah.
It seems like when it rains, it pours. Yeah. You're already going through some stress. Maybe you got some stress, and all of a sudden you come home to your partner. You got to deal with this stress, extra stress on top of stress, and that's going to cause conflict.
Yeah, life be life. We all know that life be life.
Yeah, it does.
So we don't need extra stress at home. We need to. I mean, it's gonna always be something, Yeah. Not always. I don't mean to say it like that, but again, if it's not conflict in a relationship, then that relationship ain't healthy,
and it's not growing.
Yeah, and it's not growing. Yeah, absolutely. But
we want respectful conflict.
Yes. Respectful conflict. Yeah. Okay.
Because conflict it can be disrespectful. You got you using foul language, you're loud and all name calling. That's disrespectful conflict. But healthy conflict is conflict needed because you get to the source of a problem. That's what conflict does. Conflict helps you get to the source of a problem. And if you come out of that conflict without destroying the relationship, then you're gonna grow the relationship. Mm-hmm. So we can't avoid conflict, and it's naturally gonna come up because we got different people coming with different perspectives, and we two single person trying to bridge individuals in a single relationship.
Yeah. So if you can see, two different people, two individuals, we coming in with two different things.
Yeah.
So we ain't gonna hold you. We just wanted to hop on and talk about why people keep fighting in relationships. Yeah. And it's just a little misunderstandings that go on, that can be caught. You might be in a good relationship, but because you're having that, we calling it healthy conflict, you let that relationship go, but you know that it could be fixed. You don't know what you don't know. So
I think that's the big thing. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know in relationships hurt us.
Yeah.
I think we keep bringing that childhood, high school love into adulthood, expecting the relationship to work with high school love. If you had a boyfriend or you was in a relationship in high school, that's not the same as adult. It's totally different. I know it looks the same, boyfriend and girlfriend, but when you get adults, it's totally different. If you want a lasting relationship, if you want a situationship, whether you got a baby or not, then you just keep doing what you're doing without getting the skills that you need to make the relationship work. And one of the things we do, like I said, we do understand is conflict is inevitable.
Yeah.
But it's needed for growth in the relationship.
Absolutely. So this has been another episode of Visions of Love and Relationships. Before we go, we definitely would like for you to check out our book on effective communication. If you need help communicating with your partner, or even if you're dating, if you're single, you just want to brush up and get ready for that marriage that coming in the future, cop our book, Effective Communication Skills for Couples. And we also have a one-on-one coaching call that you can actually do. It's called Should I Stay or Should I Go? That you can also get from TanyaLamontonline.com. Wherever you see this video, we'll be sure to put it in the description. Thank you so much for chilling with us. We'll see you on the next one.
And together they built the life that they love.
Go build.
Go build.